it.
All right. Should be good. All right.
Yeah? Mine. All right, it's now live. All right. Hi, guys. How's it going?
Going good.
Hey.
Sweet. Let's start by talking about Megan's speech. Megan's speech, in my opinion, was really good. And it went over a lot of points that I thought that a lot of people didn't really know about. And she made it incredibly engaging. And I think that it worked for our age bracket.
I agree.
Thank you, Didi.
Welcome. There was a lot of audience analysis with your speech, so you knew what would work when trying to get our attention and like have us listen and stuff like that. Which, the way you spoke with like more like a laid back demeanor and stuff really appealed to us, especially with the topic because it is still kind of taboo, but you made it not so taboo. Like, we can talk about this. Everybody has herpes. So it worked really well in that aspect, and so that's like a really strong persuasion tactic. If you can't reach out to your audience and get them to listen, then like what's the point?
Cool. Thank you.
Yes. Good points. It was a very good speech that was different than other topics and made it stand out so than other speeches. It was relatable to the audience, so it was easy to listen to. Yeah.
I agree.
All right.
I'm gonna say vegetarian.
All right.
Sweet. Oh, it's a cat!
Wow.
Oh my God! Why didn't you introduce a cat into your speech?
What's your cat's
I'll
name?
bring her in. This is Gracie.
Yes. Do it. Make everyone that's allergic to it just get fucked up in class. All right. Let's talk about Cyrus' speech next.
Wait,
So, Cyrus.
speech.
Oh, what? Oh, what?
We've only gotten 2 minutes into this and we have to have 15, so I'm going to keep talking about Megan's speech, okay?
All right, I agree. Megan, I thought that yours was very niche, like Cyrus was saying. I thought that it stood out because of that, and I really liked it personally. I was laughing the entire way through it.
And if you're laughing, you're listening.
Yes.
I really appreciated
Exactly.
that you didn't just read off your screen, because like one girl was reading just straight from her note cards, and that was just, I get if it's probably nerves, but it's just painful because I'm like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
But you did a good job. You actually seemed like you practiced it and stuff like that, and you were using like appropriate hand gestures to where it wasn't too distracting, but like it worked. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Any constructive criticism? So ways I can improve myself.
Maybe
That really
cuss less
stood out.
in the speeches.
Cuss less. Okay, I know. I kind of did a little bit. And I was like, oh, well, it just happened.
Just a little bit more professional.
Okay. Yeah.
Just a touch.
But-
Yeah, that's about it.
Well, duly noted.
Duly noted. Rough.
No, it's so true though. You guys are right. Okay. Thank you.
Not very long. All right.
All right.
So, do we want to talk about Cyrus' speech next?
Sure.
Sweet. I'll go ahead and start. Cyrus, I thought that your speech was also very niche, and it stood out because it was only a part, like it was just about football when others were a lot about health. And I thought that was good. What I think that you could work on for next time is making a better visual aid. I thought the visual aid was a little bit lackluster. It was a white screen with a couple bits of text.
I think
So
it's him as a person, though. Unless you see his Facebook profile picture, then you're like, why isn't this?
boom, called out.
Agree, the visual aid a little bit.
Yeah, like the speech went well, and I feel like you brought up a lot of facts that
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
That was very delayed reaction.
But I thought that your speech went over a lot of good facts, and I feel like, God, your phone is really gonna annoy me. I thought that it went over a lot of good facts and it went over a lot of good points that increased your argument a lot more. I felt like you had probably the strongest argument in all of the speeches that I saw. But that's just me.
Yeah,
Next.
definitely. You had a lot to back everything up, and then it just makes the whole situation just seem so stupid that it even happened. Like quoting the other players saying they actually like messed with the balls too, and nothing happened to them. Like, that's stupid. I think you could say that's stupid, or that was just stupid, or it's just plain dumb a little less, because that kind of like gets away from your argument. Like, you're allowed to have opinions and stuff like that, but saying something like that just kind of like casualizes it, I guess you could say, and just takes away from the actual argument itself. And then they're like, well, just because it's stupid doesn't mean it's wrong. But it is wrong because the whole thing was stupid, but like maybe just not saying that in the speech. Other than that, it was good. You held a consistent tone and pace throughout the whole speech and stuff like that, which was awesome. And then the facts were amazing. The visual aid was a little lacking. You could have put just like a picture of Tom Brady.
I made that like I made that like the
my man, Tom Brady. But other than that, I thought it was really good because like I'm really heated about that topic too, because it was just horrible. And so it just everything that did like pull from the other side too, but you were able to like simplify it for the people that like don't know football or don't know what that was. So that was super awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm going to take it in the opposite way, but the fact is that, yeah, you lacked a visual aid, but that was kind of, it can work in your favor because you kind of weren't trying to be biased. You're trying to present information in a way where people have become biased on your topic, where in fact it was kind of just shown in the wrong way, where your point of view is kind of the right way. You know what I'm saying? So, sorry, hold on, I'm sitting down for a second. But I liked how you just had a blank screen with the text, because that can be in a visual aid in itself where people are supposed to be focusing on you and what you're saying. So I could see why you kind of took it that way too, because you don't want people to be distracted. You just want 2 bullet points and you want people to be focused on you. So it's more so focused on the topic rather than something that can be distracted. And I don't know how you, not to bash on Gigi or Zach, but like, I don't even know what kind of visual aid you would provide for that, just because what would it be, a picture of Tom Brady? That's distracting. Like, I'm glad you didn't put a visual aid up there. So I like how it was kind of, it was just very straightforward. It wasn't, you didn't present it in like a negative or a positive way. You kind of just were neutral about it. But in the fact that you're neutral and you just presented the information, people could see why your point of view, and even though it might be considered your opinion, it was right, you know, where this was kind of blown out of proportion. So I liked your visual or lack of visuals, whatever you want to consider, because it works out in your favor where it makes you focus and what you have to say the focus. So it's an attention grabber. So it really just depends on how you're looking at it. And it's not like your PowerPoint and your presentation was more of an entertainment factor. It was talking about a controversial topic. So I liked it. I enjoyed it. And that's what I have to say on that.
All right. So the next speech, let's go to Gigi's speech.
Let me have it.
Is that good?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So Gigi, your speech was on the beauty pageant, correct?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So I thought that your speech went really well. I thought that you went over a lot of points that needed to be talked about, and I think that your topic alone was very interesting. I thought that it was very eye-catching because most people, as you said in your speech, most people think that beauty pageants are just, oh, you being the most pretty, you know? And I feel like because you highlighted on one single person, I think that really worked out for you. in your favor. One thing that I would give you constructive criticism on was that you spoke incredibly quickly. So it was a little difficult to understand what you were saying at some points. It was kind of just like a blur of information that just got thrown at me personally. That's how I felt. So if you just take like just a breath and then speak, I feel like it could really work out for your favor, and also stretching out the time and getting your information out there in a like more bite-sized areas.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I was super nervous about that speech because I literally wrote it right before I went to class. And
Same, I feel that.
because I like kept pushing it off, and then I was like, oh shit, like I'm giving my speech today.
Do anything.
And you gotta speak super
My
fast
speech.
so you don't forget any of your ideas, okay? I'm just kidding. I speak fast anyway, so I'm a nervous Nelly.
I feel that. All right, Cyrus, do you have anything to add?
Yes.
Take it away. Sick.
Thank you. No, it was a really good speech. It was a topic that like everyone could like not necessarily relate to, but recognize taking it in a different direction than you think. So it kind of forces you to pay attention and listen to what you have to say instead of just listening to the same old beauty pageant stuff. It took it in a kind of a different way where it made it more interesting and made it feel more like important than just typical beauty pageant stuff like that. So yeah, it was very good.
Thanks.
My turn. So I really liked your speech for the same thing because it's one of those topics where everybody has a point of view and it's usually the same and it's not a positive thing. It's usually this girl doesn't have a lot going on. She's pretty. And then that's it, where you kind of focused on the other aspects that people forget about. So you brought awareness by having that topic. So I was like, yes, I was really excited when you started talking. And I like the picture you showed too. Your visual aid was great because the first thing you think is, oh, who's this girl? Oh, she's a little thicker, and then you say beauty pageant and you're like, oh, like she's a very beautiful girl, but not in the typical way that beauty pageants usually show girls like stick thing, tall. But then you kind of start talking about how that's a good thing. And then you think about it and you're like, yeah, it was kind of judgmental of me to think that at first. Like, she's still a really pretty girl. And then you tied it really well into your presentation and how there's other things that really go into it. I think for future reference though, so you present that really well, but you didn't go into, you went into detail, but you could have gone into further detail, like other aspects of the pageant that they really focus on. So I know the basics, but I'd like to know a little bit more of like what they do in other parts of the beauty pageant, just because like you really did kind of reel me in with the fact that beauty isn't everything. But now I want to be like, what are the other things,
Mm-hmm.
But you did a really good presenting your information and kind of just making people think outside the box, because all you really see are beauty pageants and then girls who most people would just think are dumb and pretty,
Mm-hmm.
Or when you do see pretty girls and it's the embarrassing videos of them saying something when they're asked a question, which always makes me sad because if you've ever word vomited, it just happens because you're nervous, not because you're ignorant.
Yeah.
So I always get nice seeing you being like, look. So, and I like how you example of, oh, I was in a beauty pageant, so that was cool. I liked it.
Awesome. All right, are we on to Zach's
Sweet.
speech?
So let's move on to the best speech, mine.
Oh yeah.
Take it away, Gigi.
Fun, Zach.
All right, so
You take it away.
it was an interesting topic. I was scared you were getting onto like the verge of one of those like fallacies or whatever we were talking about when you were saying like talking about how teachers could like build a garden or something for their kids, but it's like you almost made it sound like that was the only option to your plan until you started getting later into your speech and you brought up new ideas. So that was really good of how you kind of incorporated more than just the one thing. I actually thought it was a great idea. At first I was like, why would we try and get like kindergarten kids to garden? Like they're just gonna throw dirt at each other. but there's actually like really good potential behind it, and to focus on the more important aspect of it of actually like getting kids to snack better, because that's the biggest problem is like I knew how to eat well, but I didn't know how to snack well when I came to college. And so, I mean, freshman 15 hit me like a truck. So yeah, I thought it was all around really well. And then you also had more of a laid back demeanor, but your speech kind of fit it, because it's hard to talk about something like a serious issue like that if like you're just cutthroat, like these are the facts, listen to me. But it's like, no, this is fun. These are little kids we're talking about. Like, let's get them doing this stuff so that they can learn what we didn't learn or what most people don't learn from their parents, and they can learn it through their teachers. That's all. Good job.
Take it away, Cyrus.
Thank you, Zach. Sorry, watching the Red Sox. My bad. No, I thought your speech. It was a good speech. It was another one where it's like a common idea where you've heard it before, but kind of putting like your different spin on it, where you have a specific idea to it instead of just saying general facts about kids need to eat broccoli or whatever. So it was good in that you took an idea where we've heard a lot about it before, but actually gave specific like plans and something to actually, and a plan to actually do it to make sure the idea behind it gets done. So I thought that part of it was really good. I'm very distracted. Sorry.
That's okay. Megan, your turn.
Kind of felt the same way, where it was one of those topics like, all right, here we go. And then I really enjoyed it because kind of like what Gigi said, you don't learn how to snack, which is really, that sounds stupid, but it's so true. You don't know how to snack, you don't know how to eat properly. And then what? Then later on it catches up to you, because it's kind of like oh, well, I don't know how to snack, so let me just eat this bag of chips or something. So I think it's cool to think about how you teach kids earlier on. I just don't like to think about the fact that they kind of push that sometimes. Like if you think about how they changed Cookie Monster and Sesame Street to the Vegetable Monster, stupid. Never gonna work. Yeah, they did. I'm not sure if they changed it back, but I feel like they did, because so many people just bashed on them for that on the internet. But it's something like that, to where it cannot work out depending on how you try to convince people that it's smart to do. Where gardening with little kids can work really well, because I know when I was in second grade, my teacher had a garden, and it was so much fun. All the other classes were jealous of us because we have to garden. We're like planting some split peas, and it was all fun. You think it wouldn't? What?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was like on the side of our building. So we'd plant stuff, and it was a big deal. We were the cool class, like, dang, wish I had that class. And so most kids, you think, wouldn't be excited to plant vegetables, but it's a really good idea, because if I remember correctly, like, everybody was excited to plant stuff. So it's definitely a good idea, and it'll help later on, if not anything else.
Sweet.
Yes.
All right. Have we hit the time limit yet?
Yeah, my watch says 18 minutes.
Tight. Perfect.
Nice.
Send it.
All right.
Good job, guys.
Enjoy your baseball game, Cyrus.
Yeah, Cyrus, be sure to end the broadcast and then upload.
What you're talking to me like I'm like a fourth grader? Like, what the hell? God, let's go.
Are you sure you're broadcasting?
That's why we talk to you like a fourth grader. You act like one. We're still on.
Are you in
that's sent to
Are you in your boxers?
No.